Hi everyone, Paula, Empty Nester Crafting here. Today's project, I'm going to be using this extra spare piece of wood that I have. I actually pulled this off of a pallet. I love the little knots and holes in it. I'm also going to be using this harvest sign. It's one of the metal signs from the Dollar Tree and one of these little wooden pumpkins stickers that were, again, from a pack from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to be using this folk art white chalk paint, and I'm going to be using, of course, my glue gun. So here's how easy this project is. So I am simply going to do a light whitewash or just a light brushing to this piece of wood. Again, I like that rustic, holy look. This was actually a piece of pallet wood that I picked up. I went to a local grocery store and I asked them if I can have one of their pallets. You can get them, and then, if you don't have a power saw or anything like that, a circular saw is what I used to cut the pallet up. You can also use one of those little hand saws, not the really itty bitty one from the Dollar Tree, but the other one that's a little bit bigger. You can use that to cut down a pallet, and then you have wood that you can use. Now, I did sand this down as well. But again, you can also use the sanding papers or blocks that you can pick up from the Dollar Tree. I used a power sander just because that's what I have here. They're not my tools, they're my husband's tools, so I'm fortunate that I can use his tools. But anyways, if you don't have a spare piece of wood, you can also use one of those little signs that have either the black and white checker or the other ones that are out for fall. I think the other it was like a brown and orange checker. But you can paint that white and then do the same concept. So this is, again, very easy. This is a sign that you can use either on a tier tray or by itself, just on a shelf or on a mantle or anything like that. So I painted it. I'm now going to paint the little pumpkin, and I'm trying to figure out what color I really wanted to paint the pumpkin. So I think I end up doing like a red. I think I used a chalk red paint that I have, and mixed it maybe with a black, I believe, just so that it's not like totally popping red. Or I might have just done red, but I might have just done a really light wash of red and then sanded it down. So now I'm just going to take a little bit of sandpaper, again, because I didn't paint the piece of wood, of scrap wood. That's what it's called, scrap wood, not extra wood. Since I didn't paint, I didn't use a lot of paint on either the pumpkin or the scrap wood. They're dry, and of course, because I use chalk paint, and we all know that chalk paint dries faster. So I'm just giving this a light sand. And then I am going to try something that was an epic fail. So I was taking small pieces of popsicle sticks that I had, and I was cutting them down, and I was trying to glue the small piece of popsicle stick to the back of the harvest sign, just to raise it a little bit, so that it wasn't flat on the piece of scrap wood. And well, it failed. They were just, I was cutting them and they were breaking and splintering, and so it didn't work out. So that's okay. So in the end, I simply just glued the harvest sign along with the pumpkin onto the scrap piece of wood. So I think we've all come across where we try to use the hot glue gun with the metal and it just doesn't want to stay down. That's why I was trying to use the little raised pieces of popsicle stick. So that didn't work out. That's okay. So I removed all the excess hot glue and I pulled out my trusty E6000 and I used E6000 to glue down the metal harvest word. And then I added some weight to the top of it. I just used some paint bottles just to weigh it down and allow it to dry fully. So I waited just a few hours, I think, to allow it to dry fully. I'm sure it was dry way before that point, but honestly, I forgot about it. So, yeah, that's the next step. And then I hot glued the little pumpkin just to the side of the word harvest. And here's a finished project. Super fast, super easy, super rustic. I love it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't subscribed, I hope you consider hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you're notified the next time I upload a video. Thanks.